Hello and welcome to the very first ever 2021 race of the weekend night racing. This is the League One Championship. My name is Katie, 1997, commentating for you guys. Back at the commentary box once again. If you remember me from last season, doing a little bit of part-time for the Premier League. This time I'm going to be full-time commentating for League One, so this should be a cracker of a season we should have. So the first round, and of course we're going to be starting off, is in Melbourne, Australia for the Australian Grand Prix at Albert Park. Of course, Melbourne has been the host of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996 and should be a good race to have. We have, I think, about 17 cars for today's grid. Let's see. I'll probably just go over the grid real quickly. If you remember, I did go over it last time I commentated, which was for the qualifying for WNR's Christmas race. But anyway, to refresh your memory, in the Mercedes, we have Dead Rabbit and Schwan Shanks. In the Red Bull, the Maniac and Hugh Janis. In the in the Ferrari, COBH Gunnar and Saneth, 1987, TMBA 59, and FaZe Bailey in the McLaren, Jan Tommy and Andy Liu in the Renault, Ozuski and Menace Max in the Racing Point, Delano and LPE in the AlphaTauri, ALR Vintage, and Aryachelis in the Alfa Romeo, Crazy Bill and Beer Dave in the Haas, and RG, MBMH, and Captain Infinity in the Williams. So, let me go ahead and give you all the other good stuff here, all the other telemetry stuff to come along with it. I think it looks like we have a reserve from the way it looks. Sam Swift Ninja. I've never seen him before, so I guess he's a new driver for today. So we'll see how he goes. Oh, and Crazy Bill has left the session. I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. But yeah, if you're new to this YouTube channel or just the Liga channel, welcome. Yeah, and I was pretty much new to this last season, so but I've got to know the community a little bit better, so it's good to be a part of it as well. But anyway, yeah, Melbourne, Australia is where we're racing today. Of course, Albert Park, one of the street circuits in Formula One. I would say it's probably a love-hate track. I do like the track in some ways, but it's mostly about a track to get good amount of flow almost. It's almost like Japan in a way. You got to get good flow, and also if you nail certain parts of the track, you'll feel good. But anyway, the track itself is a 3.2 mile circuit. It has 16 corners, 6 to the left and 10 to the right. And already we have a 5-place grid penalty for Delano for a collision with LPE. Okay, well, that's not a good way to start, but anyway, let's take you a little bit of a tour with it, and we'll follow on with FaZe Bailey in the McLaren as he's going to start his first flying lap. So there he goes with one of the 3 DRS zones into turns 1 and 2. Into the tight chicane of turns 1 and 2, into the second DRS zone, into the second straight before going to the hard braking zone of turn 3. And now we go into the parking lot of Albert Park, into 4th gear, a little bit tight on the corner there, into turns now turn 5, and to the end of the first DRS zone, and now into the second sector, turns 6, 7, and now in the long sweeping right-hander of turn 8. Got to keep it on the inside as much as you can, and now to the hard braking zone of turns 9 and 10. Rub the curve a little bit, and of course the outside curve as well. And so now the long left sweeping turn. What part of the track? I don't know why they don't consider it a corner, but yeah, that's the far side of the lake. And now into the third DRS zone out of the chicanes of turns 11 and 12 into now turns 13 and 14. Oh, a little bit tight there. Lost the back end just slightly. 6th gear going to now turn 15 and 16 to the final parts of the track. And FaZe Bailey will set the first lap of the League One Championship to kick it off with a 1:21.4 as your provisional pole at the moment. The Red Bull of Hugh Janis comes across with a 1:22.9, and he did that on the mediums. So just a little bit off at the moment. Sanath goes into second with a 1:22.0, and same with his teammate, with a 1:22.1. Sanath. Sanath goes into fourth with a 1:22.1. Guna with a 22.0, and Young Tommy follows that up with a 21.9. And LPE does a 1:23.6. I believe he was the one that got in the incident with Delanos a little bit earlier, so the two teammates not having a good start at the moment, especially now that Delano has a 5-place grid penalty for the collision. And looks like we have an Alpha coming towards the line. I think that might be Vintage getting ready to start his first flying lap. And same story with Andy Liu in the background, as you can see in the Renault. Next across, the Maniac, 967.063 in the Red Bull. Oh, a little bit too much grass there from the Red Bull, but let's see what he can do. Provisional pole right now is a 21.4. And it's right now a 22.7 for the Red Bull of the Maniac. I'm sure he can find another bit of a time there as he went a little bit into the grass. But yeah, that's pretty much what times are at the moment. Of course, this is the only two that does only short qualifying. The rest, as you probably have seen from like the championship and the Premier League, are only full qualifying. So that has obviously like, you know, Q1, Q2, Q3. This is just like the normality if you're in the like well, in other leagues I've been in, of course. And Baseman goes into the provisional pole with a 1:21.0 in the Racing Point. So he's looking like to have a pretty decent start at the moment. Let's see who we can find that's close. Andy Liu coming towards the line now. DRS Open. 21.0 to beat. Does a 21.5. He looks like he lost a little bit of time, I guess, because he was purple through the third sector. So there's probably some time he could find out of that. And I think that's it at the moment. Or at least for the time being. I don't think everyone else is on outlaps. And of course, speaking of the championship, that will be, I think this will be after this race. And then, of course, the Premier League, which will be tomorrow. And I will actually make my full season debut in the car that Crazy Bill is driving right now, which is the Haas. So I can't wait to do my first full season of WNR, so that should be interesting to do. And plus, what's a little way to do it with an American driving an American driver driving an American Formula One car. Alright, let's see who we can find on a lap. Let's see, Captain Finney, I think is the closest. Alright, so looks like some drivers are doing some of their laps on the mediums, and the rest are doing their laps on, well, all of them, mostly all of them, are doing their laps on the softs. Normally, in a short qualifying, I would go with the softs, but it is a one-stop strategy, if you can work that out. Usually I would go soft to hard for Melbourne, but if it was full qualifying, I would do it with a medium-hard strategy, just because, just to go for a longer stint around Melbourne. And that is actually the key for this track, is just trying to see how you can stretch your stints, especially in a 50% race. Anyway, here comes Crazy Bill in the Haas, and I forgot to mention, Captain Infinity did a 1:22.8 on that lap. And Crazy Bill has invalidated out of turn 14, I'm sorry, that's turn 15. Before that was turn 14. So he invalidated his lap. He's going to have to go back into the pits and just try to get another lap going. So we'll follow on with now Menace Max. His teammate right now, Baseman, is on provisional pole. And we'll see if the other Racing Point can maybe top that off. Let's see. We have Delano's also on the mediums. There we go. That'll tell me who's on the lap on what tire. Alright, so Delano's is on the medium. Sam Swift, who just came across the line, did a 35.1. And Delano's has a 22.1, so he's actually looking pretty decent in pace. And right now he's currently at 6th. Alright, let's follow Miss Max. Let's see, can he beat his teammate? 1:21.0 is the time. It's close, but it is a racing .12 at the moment, with a 21.3 for Menace Max. So pretty promising start for the racing points. So not bad at all. Let's see, who else can we find on a lap? Looks to be Bailey's out again. So right now he's currently 4/10 down from provisional pole, and he doesn't seem to be improving his time either, because he is about 3/10 off of his PB at the moment. So I think we'll follow him. Maybe he'll come back later and do another lap, I would assume, but I think we can follow along with Saneth. I think he's the closest one. And Galibai is joined. I don't remember what car he's in. I think he's a championship driver, if I'm correct. Saneth right now is up by 3/10, and he's invalidated at the end of turn 12. Yeah, that part of the track limit can be a bit stupid, in my opinion, because like, even if you have 4 wheels, like, well, not 4 wheels, but like maybe like the 2 wheels on the, oh, well, that's not what you want to do. Okay, well, Santa's just absolutely spinning around. Oh, I hope the game does not disqualify him. He's trying to turn the car around, but obviously he can't. He has traffic that he has to deal with. Let's see, are you good? No, you're good. You should be fine. Oh, never mind. Wait for Beer Dave. There you go. Alright, well, at least you didn't get screwed by the game. That's all I can say. Alright, LP 91. Oh, look at that. So that's 21.8 on the mediums. So he's a 10th off of pole, but he did that time on the mediums. So that's actually a good looking pace right now from that AlphaTauri so far. And I can see comments are starting to pop in, so let's see if I'm going to pop them on my phone just real fast. Gunnar has retired from the session. I can't see where exactly he retired or if he retired in the pits. But, oh, yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, Sam Swift, 21.4 in the medium, so he's doing pretty good at the moment. I guess I didn't catch that because when I was probably flipping that through, I probably didn't, when I was flipping through, like, the tire compounds. Oh, Andy Lou. You almost lost it there. Let's see, can he at least match pole? No, not quite. I think he lost about 3/10 out of that. I think if he wouldn't have, like, oversteered, he probably would have gone provisional pole at the moment. Anyway, here comes ALR Vintage in the Alfa Romeo. Can he at least get an improvement? And he does slightly to a 22.5. And is currently now 14th. Meanwhile, LPE goes into the pit lane and will obviously go into the sub for his next run. I guess I probably didn't catch this one either, but Crazy Bill also is right now 2nd place with a 21.2. So he's about nearly 2/10 off of Bade, but he has split the racing points. But Let's see, though. But Sam Swift, though, is in a good position, though, because he did that time on the mediums. I mean, would you want to... If I were him, I probably would just stay in the pits. Unless there's, like, more... Unless there's more position changes that'll happen. But that's still a good position to be on if you're on the mediums. It's because, like I said, you can go on a longer stint and pretty much not worry about having to make an early pit stop. Anyway, though, we're following Faith Bailey. I think we have someone that's coming. Oh. Okay, so we got Cryptic Alibi in the Williams. Jay Bradfield also in the mediums. Or, mediums. Well, he is on mediums, but he's in the Alpha. But anyway, Baseman improves only by nearly a tenth and goes into the 20s now. So he's the first driver to crack into the 20s. So we'll see if we can have more that crack into the 20s soon. Anyway, here comes Delanos. And, oh, he's super close. Just a bit off. Oh, and there's a McLaren that spun around in the background. I think that's, yeah, that's Bailey. Faze Bailey just absolutely spun it into the pit lane wall. I'm guessing he must have rubbed too much curb. That's so unfortunate, though, and I think that might be the end of his qualifying, too, because he's also got damage. Anyways, here comes Menace Max. Doesn't seem like he's improving his time. I'm guessing he's going to do this lap again on the softs, so he's going to do... Well, if he does improve, he'll probably be on 2-lap old softs. But probably the man to keep an eye on the moment is Sam Swift, because he's in 6th right now, but the time he did that you see on your screen, he did that on the mediums. So we'll see how it goes for him. And Swanshanks has retired along with Gooner. Yeah, I agree. That is a quick time there, Jake. For League One, that is actually really good. Let's see. Who can we find? That's on a lap. Actually, well, that's close. Okay, so Bearded Dave's the closest. Oh, Faith Bailey's got to get out of the... Oh, I hope that did not compromise his run too much. Yeah, Bailey was in the middle of that run. I hope that didn't compromise him too much. We'll see how it goes. Now, he only improves by 10, but I think that might have compromised him a bit. I probably would have been a little bit furious there if I were Peter Dave, really, I'm not going to lie. But anyways, here comes Sam Swift. Oh, that's a bit wide, but I think this will be a good time. What's it going to be? It is a 120.1. So he's on provisional pole right now. That's actually really good for League One. That's actually really good. That's a very impressive time. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him before. I don't know if he's championship or if he's a reserve, but that's still a good time. Anyway, let's see. We've got one of the Renaults coming, and he was doing an outlap. Let's see who we can find. One of the Williams, Cryptic Alibi, is invalidated, but he's going to be starting again. And at least he has time to do it, because there's 10 seconds left on the clock. Okay, thanks. Sam is a reserve. Alright, thanks for the confirmation there. Meanwhile, Bearded Dave getting ready to put up another flying lap and goes a little bit faster than he did before, 1:21.8. But he did that also on 2-lap old soft, so we'll see how the tires will be for him. But I think all we've got left is Cryptic Alibi, and there's a Ferrari sitting in the middle of the track. I'm trying to figure out who that is. Oh dear. That might have been Sanif, I think. I don't think it popped up saying crashed on my screen. Anyway, here comes Hugh Janis. He has a 120.1 defeat. 1:21.2 is the time. So he does not go into provisional pole, but he does go up to 5th place. Meanwhile, here comes the championship driver, Cryptic Alibi in the Williams. What can he do? Can he beat that 120.1? And it's going to be a 121.4. So, no, he will be in 8th. But that is the end of your qualifying. But the reserve of Sam Swift Ninja, 120.1 on provisional pole for Mercedes. So that is actually a good start for the Mercedes crew. Also for the Racing Point boys as well. Baseman in 2nd, even though he's about 8 tenths off, but that's still a good qualifying effort from him. Delano will be in 3rd, but he has a 5-place grid penalty due to a collision with his teammate. And I'm guessing that was the same story with LPE, because that also says he has a 5-place grid penalty. So that means pretty much he will start in 8th, and LPE will start in 15th. So not a great start if you're France tossed in the Alpha Tower camp. But anyway, also following that up, Menace Max in 4th, Hugh Janis in 5th, Crazy Bill in 6th, Andy Liu in 7th, Cryptic Alibi in 8th, Bailey in 9th, LPE in 10th. Well, he'll be 15th realistically. Beer Dave in 11th, Young Tommy in 12th, AL Vintage in 13th, Gunnar in 14th, Swanshank 15th, and Saneth 16th. And we'll go along once we get the rest of the group formed up. Yeah, I did not catch what happens with the AlphaTauris, but I guess they had some sort of a collision on their outlaps. I don't know how, but I didn't catch it though. And it looks like we've got clear skies from the way it looks here at Melbourne. And I don't think we have any rain I'm guessing from what everyone, well, at least I haven't seen from anybody saying that there would be rain. So, looks like we have dry weather, which is good. And if I remember correctly, I think we have 26 laps around Melbourne for a 50% race. All right, let's see. We should be able to get going on a formation lap. There we go. And there we go. So, everyone getting ready for the formation lap. And, oh, it's actually 29 laps. I haven't been around Melbourne for league racing in a while, so I kind of forgot. But anyway, let's go over the grid one more time, and this will include the grid penalties that were affected by the AlphaTauris. So, Sam Swift is on pole position, the reserve driver in the Mercedes. And following behind him is the 2 Racing Points of Baseman and Mez Max in 2nd and 3rd. Hugh Janis in 4th, along with Crazy Bill, rounding off the top 5. Andy Liu in the Renault starts 6th, along with Idolanos in 7th. And if you remember, he had a 5-place grid penalty, so he drops to 7th. FaZe Bailey in 8th, along with Bearded Dave in 9th. Young Zombie in 10th. ALR Vintage in 11th. Gunnar in 12th. Swanshank in 13th. LPE, who also suffered a 5-place grid penalty with a collision with his teammate, starts 14th. Saneth in 15th. The Maniac in 16th. Captain Infinity in 17th. Jay Bradfield and Cryptic Alibi, the 2 championship drivers, will start from the back of the grid. I'm not sure I'm asking if Jay Bradfield's drunk. I hope not. I mean, I wouldn't even do it in a virtual game, really. And looks like we're about to end the formation lap. Let's get the map on the board for all y'all to see. And yeah, you probably saw in the graphic earlier, just a little bit during the formation lap. Like I said, there's a one-stop strategy for soft hards. Whatever, 2-stop, soft medium is the way to go. but I would prefer soft hards just to save yourself an extra pit stop. So I feel like a 2-stop here would cost you some time. All right, so time for a brand new season of Weekend Night Racing, and it all begins with League One in glorious Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia. And I think we have all the cars lined up on the grid, where we should be able to get ready to go. And once we get and hopefully once the game starts to get going, the 5 lights will commence, and we should get going immediately. I hope this isn't broken. I think it might be, because nothing's happening. Yeah, nothing's happening for me. I'm guessing there's someone that has an internet issue. Oh, it's Bill. Crazy Bill is the issue. Oh, shoot. I'm guessing we're gonna have to make a new lobby. Jeez. All right. Oh, you've got to be kidding me.